This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Today we're doing a special Christmas edition of the show where we take a look back at some of our most inspiring and uplifting stories of the year.
But before we get to that, we just wanted to talk a little bit about some of our funnier moments. I feel bad for Matthew Morrison. He played the Grinch and some of the other hosts got on him a little bit. I'm not sure if I did or not, but let's check out the
Glee actor Matthew Morrison is getting backlash for his portrayal of the Grinch. So, Tori, I want you to look at this. He's starring in a new musical next week on NBC. Here's the sneak peek.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. I hate Christmas.
Oh my gosh! That's the first time I've seen it. It looks like the creepy guy from The Bodyguard. Right? Somebody try and get me the picture of the creepy guy from The Bodyguard.
Did you just reference The Bodyguard? What year is it?
But Twitter wasn't very kind. One person tweeted, just when we thought 2020 couldn't get worse, Matthew Morrison as the Grinch. Another tweeted, I'm pretty sure Matthew Morrison as the Grinch is a war crime. And another person just couldn't contain themselves. Watch. Tori, have at it.
I want us all to remember Sonic the Hedgehog and Cats. When you do a weird cartoon version, strangely to make it almost too human, it doesn't work. Go with the standard, go with the classic. Cats was horrible. Don't try too hard. This just was definitely, he looks evil. He looks terrible.
Tori, to your point about Sonic not working, my son is the biggest Sonic the Hedgehog, and I saw the preview like a year out, and I was like, we're gonna go. My son was like, it looks weird. He didn't want to do it. There's no bigger Sonic fan, so you're right, Tori. There's something about that humanoid cartoon look. People don't like it.
Can we see a picture of his face? I mean, that is too good. Look, doesn't it look like we're going to try and get the picture of the dude from Bodyguard, but I swear it looks like him.
Oh, well, hey, everybody at home, Sam just held up her gigantic construction phone, so you guys might not have seen it. Now it's backwards.
We're going to show you a picture because I swear I feel like he modeled himself
Show like we're just hanging out at the bar.
What?
You're just holding up your phone. We're on TV. I love you so much. She's so great. She's just like, look, it's like we're on the camera.
Hey, we're a national television show. Check this out. See, I was right.
Sometimes I forget the camera's on.
If you don't love Sam, I can't help you. She's the best person ever.
Thank you. Come on.
Man.
So I promise you that I wasn't wrong about the stalker from The Bodyguard. Here's the moment from later in that same show where I prove my point. I'm told we got the picture, so let's look at the side-by-side. It's kinda, right?
No, it's not. You
yes, it does the hair.
You could have put anybody next to them. That is not at all.
Do we have any other pictures?
That's not at all
hey,
good.
Tori,
That's terrible.
We looked at that before. Does that look exactly like Andrew Jackson? Look at that.
I thought that was the guy on the 20th. Hello, Mr. Jackson. I agree with you.
That's already been a thing. People have already compared the stalker from The Bodyguard to Andrew Jackson.
And yours will never be a thing.
So that was a thing.
No one has seen The
my
Bodyguard in 2 decades, Sam.
What?
I don't even know where to go to watch that.
It stands up.
It does.
Anthony, our producer, one of our producers wrote me and was like, yeah, Sam.
If you showed that to 100 people on the street who this man is,
yeah, they would know.
99% of them would say you're crazy.
Yeah.
No, they would say that's the stalker from Bodyguard.
Tori, when was the last time you saw The Bodyguard? And did a parent have to drive you to the theater?
I went with my 7th grade boyfriend and I felt things.
Well, that's where Sam's referencing stop. 7th grade.
What did you say?
I said I went with my 7th grade boyfriend to see The Bodyguard, and I was like, ooh.
No, you said something.
You said you felt things.
That's weird. About
yeah,
what?
like you felt things inside because it was like sexy feelings.
Getting weird.
TMI.
The Bodyguard was a sexy movie?
I think you're talking about being on a date.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
like,
embarrassing.
Well, Kevin Costner was pretty sexy. So was Whitney Houston.
Yeah, all right.
All right. DBL, I thought they looked alike.
Wow.
If
When was
you
the
would
last
have
time
seen
you saw
a
The
different
Bodyguard?
picture, you would have agreed with me.
Probably in black and white.
Wow.
Team Sam.
Yes,
Team Sam, 1,000,000%. As soon as she said it, I knew exactly who she was talking about, and I just saw The Bodyguard like maybe a month and a half ago. Okay, that is a classic. You watch it over and over again.
Yes, you do.
I 100% agree with you, Sam.
You just know the character. It does not look like the Grinch, though.
No, when Sam said the dude from The Bodyguard, that could have been legit anybody, but I knew exactly who she was talking about.
But what do you think about the comparison? It doesn't
They
look anything.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely. That's
Especially
how
the
I
hair.
knew, because when I saw the picture, I was like, oh, she's talking about the star, and I could see the
Anthony,
whole
our producer,
photo.
immediately wrote me and was like, amen, Sam.
Well,
Yeah,
then I
don't
guess
act like
I'm
just
taking
because it's
crazy
not
pills.
part of your classic, it's not a part of some of our other classics.
Thank you, Erica.
That's a classic.
Amen, girl. Amen. Coming up on DBL, we're looking back at our most inspiring stories of the year, including a running club in Los Angeles' most notorious neighborhood, Skid Row. And next, Al catches up with actor, lo and behold, Matthew Morrison, to talk one-on-one about his Grinch and why he wants his portrayal to be the people's least favorite. Hey everyone, I'm Sam Shocker. The way I would describe myself as a host of DBL, well, my co-hosts call me like the mom, so I guess I'm kind of like the team mom.
Happy Mother's Day, Sam.
Oh, Mama Bear.
Yeah.
Being a working mother is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I have such respect to all mothers out there, and that I love animals. I will advocate for animals till the day I die. The connection that we have built with the viewer, you feel like family. You share things that you are going through with us, and I felt comfortable sharing a really dark time in my life with you. I'm going through it.
I know.
I'm proud that we are inclusive. I'm proud that we have conversations about social injustices. Yes, we always have fun on this show, but at the end of the day, I feel like that we're making a difference. We really do provide a voice for the voiceless, and I'm so grateful for that.
Welcome back to DBL. This Christmas, we're taking a look back at memorable moments from the show, including the time Al caught up with Matthew Morrison to talk about his remake of The Grinch. Check out this encore edition of Chatting with the Stars.
Matthew Morrison joins us live. First of all, Matthew, welcome to DBL.
Sang a miserable mistletoe wreath.
A lot of people have played the Grinch, just like a lot of people have played Batman, and everybody's gonna have their favorite Batman. How are you going to make this Grinch a lot of people's favorite Grinch? What are you gonna bring to this Grinch that no one has before?
Well, I hope it's people's least favorite Grinch.
That's a good point.
Then I will have done my job right. Well, first of all, this is a musical, so I think that in and of itself, that makes it different from the other versions. But in that, I had to find out, how does the Grinch sing and how does he dance? Because I was like, I don't want the Grinch to dance. That's just kind of ridiculous. We actually already shot this. This was meant to be a live musical, but with COVID protocols this year, the actors were in a bubble, the camera crew was in a bubble, the stagehands were in a bubble, so it was impossible to film this live. But we rehearsed this for 5 weeks like a stage musical or a play. I felt really terrified to go into this role because it's something I don't usually do, play this kind of like dark character. But there was this great liberation that happened within it, and it made me feel so free and just I had a ball.
I just want to ask a question as a fan. Just how long did it take for you to transform into the Grinch, like actual time?
You know, it's a process. I mean, the whole process took 3.5 hours, and I really gave me time to just kind of sit in like what I wanted to bring to this performance. So honestly, that whole month of rehearsal, we were in a mask and doing the distance thing. But it wasn't until we actually filmed this thing, which we only did it for 2 days, that's when everything came off. So it was actually seeing people for the first time and seeing their expressions, and people seeing my expressions. I was doing so many mouth things with the Grinch. And so it was cool to see the reactions to what I was doing under the mask for that whole month that they couldn't see. I got into the hair and makeup chair like really early in the morning. And like you said, it took 3.5 hours to do. So I might have been asleep for some of it.
That's honest and beautiful. And look, I'm excited. My kids, I'm going to sit down with them and watch this with them. And, I'm going to tell them that I met you. And they'll be like, whatever, Dad. Isn't it crazy? You thought your kids would like worship you, and your kids like, what? My kids are like annoyed by me. They turn when they see me on TV. They're like, Daddy's shows are boring. So at least you get the Grinch costume.
I know when I was actually in my whole getup, I was FaceTiming my son, and it actually took a little while for him to actually understand who I was. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Matthew Morrison, thank you for stopping by. The Grinch musical airs tonight. Don't miss it. We'll be back.
Thank you, Al.
And you can check out Matthew Morrison in The Grinch streaming on Hulu right now. And coming up on DBL, we'll introduce you to a running club in Los Angeles that's changing lives every day. You don't want to miss this inspiring story. Perfect for Christmas. Coming up next. back to DBL. We're continuing our very special Christmas show with a look back at some of the most inspiring stories from the past year. This next story is about a running club in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Los Angeles, Skid Row. It provides a community for some of the city's most forgotten people. That's in this encore edition of DBL Spotlight.
Those who run say there's a peace that comes over you as your feet strum the pavement. There's a clarity that takes over with each passing mile.
I do not run most often with music, so I'm alone with my thoughts, and it's really just a time to think and to be in your own head, so to speak.
Judge Craig Mitchell has been running for 25 years.
In court, we have an hour-and-a-half lunch, and I run almost every lunch. And it allows me to think of, what would be the appropriate sentence for this particular individual. Does this person need to go to prison? Do they need a second chance? I mean, it's so helpful in so many different aspects of my life.
9 years ago, a paroled inmate who the judge had previously sentenced to prison asked him to visit the mission he was staying at on Skid Row.
I mean, if you go down to Skid Row, what are you visually going to see? You're going to see literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people living in tents, living on the sidewalk, people at 2 o'clock in the afternoon passed out on the sidewalk. What are you going to see in the streets? You're going to see used needles. It's a very dangerous place. It's a place where I, in fact, do a lot of murder cases that come into my courtroom that take place on Skid Row.
During his visit, the judge was asked by mission organizers if there was anything he could do to help.
I knew how valuable running was in my own life and how therapeutic it was, and figured it would be a good activity for people in recovery.
The club runs 3 times a week, ranging in distance from 5 miles to a staggering 20 miles.
Initially, on a good day, I would have 2 to 3 runners join me. And, slowly the word spread. And, to fast forward to today, on a good day, we'll have 40 runners out there.
Each runner brings with them his or her own hopes and dreams, as well as their own hurdles and demons. Over the years, the judge has seen countless stories of success from his runners, but also ones of heartbreak.
Modi is not running with us this morning. Yeah, major relapse. One of the things that this whole experience has made me understand in a way that I didn't before is how powerful drugs such as heroin and methamphetamine are. I don't think there's a more insidious substance out there.
Through it all, Judge Mitchell continues to run, and his group is thankful.
People who suffer from addiction, not much else is going on in your life. You will do anything to get high. And so the running club, offers a community of people who understand one another's struggles, who support one another in the sobriety. If you eliminate the addiction, the blossoming that takes place is wonderful to behold.
The Honorable Judge Craig Mitchell, welcome to DBL. It's a pleasure to talk with you today. Now, I got to start off with this, Judge. I lived in LA for a long time, so I'm very familiar with Skid Row. In fact, I used to buy my suits 2 blocks away from there. But let's be honest, Judge, the majority of Californians are terrified of Skid Row. So I got to know, out of all the homeless areas in the city, why start a running club there?
You go where the need is. There are 3 major missions that service the homeless and addicted population. Midnight Mission, LA Mission, and Union Rescue. And that's where we primarily get our runners.
Judge, let me just address the homeless population in LA for a minute, because a friend of our show, Dr. Drew, is on top of this problem. A lot of people don't see this as a problem, but the homeless population is growing more and more every day. Can you speak to this?
It is, tragically. I mean, last year it was in the upper 50,000s. It's now probably mid 65,000 homeless people. And from my vantage point, on the bench and then being down on Skid Row 3 times a week, I attribute it largely to the explosion of the use of methamphetamine. It is an insidious drug. It takes over people's lives. That's the real culprit in my view.
Judge, when it comes to the homeless, our society tends to have a very one-dimensional view of them, but you want people to understand they are so much more. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's I think really a disservice to any human being to look at that person in a one-dimensional perspective. Everybody has a backstory. They have complexities, and that holds true for the homeless population. I know, even before I started the running club, you look at someone who is sleeping on a sidewalk, who is dirty, who may have a needle hanging from their arm. That's the same person that a mother held in their arms when that child was born. That is the same person that went into an elementary school classroom, all cleaned up with a smile on their face, eager to begin their life. And I just refuse to, not see the larger person.
Yeah, when you look at them like that, it's really hard not to care. I totally get what you're saying on that. But I've been fortunate enough, Judge, to travel all over the world. You take your runners on yearly trips to marathons all over the world. So why do you think it's an important part of your club to travel like that?
One, it's a huge inducement for the people to maintain their sobriety. I mean, if they know that they continue to run with us 3 times a week and they show up consistently, their entire trip overseas will be paid for. In fact, this past August, we just got back from Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands, where we spent 2 weeks and we ran a marathon in the Amazon jungle. And so, to give them a real powerful incentive to continue to go to the 12-step meetings, to continue to go to the counseling sessions. It all fits together to help a person sustain their sobriety.
It makes perfect sense to me, but I understand that's a long road to get to that finish line, kind of pun intended on this one. Judge Mitchell, thank you again so much. And for all of you looking to learn more about this remarkable club, you can watch the Skid Row Marathon documentary on Amazon. And if you want to help, visit the website skidrowrunningclub.com. Judge, thank you so much for joining us here today. What a great story. We'll be right back.
My hair is 100% authentically me, and so are my opinions. I am from Chicago, Illinois, and that's where my career started. My role on the panel is the voice of reason. If sometimes you want to be questionably unreasonable.
It's part of growing up.
Get him, girl.
And this is part of it.
Growing up, Al, is part of growing up. It's super disrespectful.
Revealing my natural hair on live TV was one of the most liberating things I've ever done.
Let me tell you, I would have been in the salon a long time ago if I knew it got a standing ovation.
And as a result, I know that that's affected a lot of other women who want to be their most authentic self, and I carry that with me every day. DBL is unapologetic. DBL is organic. DBL is fearless. DBL is you.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Let's take a look. Tori P. from YouTube writes, I'm so gleeful that Matthew Morrison is the new Grinch. I get it. And Devin on Facebook says, long live Jim Carrey as the Grinch. Matthew seems too nice. I get that. I think Jim Carrey was the ultimate Grinch.
Yeah, it's hard to compare when you have something that great to do it again. Where was his Who Knows, though? You know, like Whoville, where was the Who Knows?
Can we get a look at Matthew Morrison's Grinch face again?
There's no Who Knows.
Right, the up sloped.
Yeah, like
The
Cindy Lou Who.
But you know, that's my ultimate.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Who Knows. He has the dude from Bodyguard's nose.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
My secret is I really want to be a character from the Who.
What?
I think I look like a Who.
This.
When I pull my hair back.
That'd be adorable,
yeah,
Erica.
I want to be a Who.
Who would you play?
Erica the Who.
She says because her cute little nose looks like a Who.
Perfect button nose. She does. And my favorite is your story about how you said just one day it popped when you say it.
Oh, yeah. So my nose was a Cabbage Patch Kid nose the whole time, and then one day it just popped. Like I used to have it used to be really smashed in, and just like a Cabbage Patch Kid, and then it went. I don't know.
So cute. Okay, DBL is new every day. We will see you again next week, same time, same place. From all of us here, Merry Christmas!